All right. I think we're good to go. Yeah. I'm just checking things out here. Okay. All right, people. We're ready to get set and go with this one. Been waiting a hot minute for this. A lot of people have been asking for this on the Patreon community and really good response. So this is the first episode of the demo and track feedback sessions. I'm going to look to do these at least once to two times a month on Tuesdays. And we'll be posting it for access and for people to review on Patreon exclusively, and we'll post some shorts on the other social media channels that I got. So anyway, first off, I want to say a massive thank you to all of those who have participated here. It takes a lot of guts as a new artist to send your art out and ask for feedback and know that other people in the world are going to be exposed to what you're putting out there. So I appreciate all of you who sent your tracks in, and for the most part, you guys followed the instructions very well. So I appreciate that in terms of respecting my time. All right, so I think we should just jump right into things. I'm going to play portions of the track, listen to it, take in how it's making me feel, the vibes I'm getting, and I'll be able to provide feedback on the spot. And some of it might be more in depth than others. We'll just have to see. So the first track up, let's have a look. This one is from Collier and Merl. I've seen these guys around the community. I believe I met Collier out in Austin, Texas. So this is cool. Appreciate it. Let's dive in. I'm going to show you my screen. We'll flip around. Keep it interesting. All right, let's press play. Let's go. Come on.
The new generation of kids do not take the time to study the history of where the music comes from. Because we pay respect to the people that made the way for us to come. That's what we used to do. They don't do that nowadays. And that sucks.
Okay.
I get frustrated with it all the time. But I still try to keep focused. Because I know it's gonna convert back.
I like the stabs there.
That's what we used to do.
All right, let's go more into the body of the track. It's a breakdown here.
Do not take the time to study the history.
Vocals dope. Yeah. Little bass line breakdown there. Another breakdown. Good. I want to see how this transitions back to the drop. Right up here.
Convert back.
Nice.
Because we
Let's see how it outros. Okay. Let's dive right into this one in terms of my high level thoughts on this. So the track is called Gold Light. Again, Collier and Merle. So first off, right off the bat, I love the vocal. It actually has a message. It's saying something that people can connect to. In terms of the sonics and dynamics in the track, I think they're there. The bottom is mixed very well in terms of the bass line. The kick is very distinguishable because of the top end. If you hear it sort of like that click, you probably will hear it more. Let's go to the beats breakdown here.
because I know
Probably a little sharp, but with a bass like this,
that's what we used to do.
called giving the kick head sometimes, for lack of a better term. I've heard engineers actually say that giving the kick some head, and what it is you're just turning up the higher frequencies of it, and there's like a little click to it. I've seen people take a kick and put a close hat on top of it. But anyway, that translation in terms of how the kick is interacting with the overall bass line is dope. They did a fantastic job at getting that put together ever so well. The other thing I like too is just the overall arrangement of the track. Like it's a pretty grooving, driving track, but you can at a high level, you're looking at the arrangement here, good intro, very DJ friendly. A breakdown comes here. I'm gonna presume this is approximately 65 bars before you get into a real sort of breakdown, which is healthy for a track like this. Um, the other, so yeah, I love the arrangement. It's DJ friendly, and I think the record is mixed well. In terms of Purveyor, I don't feel that it's necessarily an immediate match for us. It's just more of a feeling. Like the thing with Purveyor, um, we go for tracks where, yeah, I could see myself playing this straight away. And it doesn't mean the track is bad. It's just not a fit for where Purveyor is today. But overall, the track is dope. Like, I'd probably rock with this at some point in one of my sets. But in terms of what we're trying to say for Purveyor, I wouldn't necessarily put this out. But very well mixed, great vocal use. I love the message in that one. So uh, cool. And who knows? I might change my mind from a Purveyor perspective. This is just first
Because we
reaction, right?
pay respect to the people that made the way for us to come. That's what we.
Yeah. So let's move on to the second track and see what this is saying. So this one is called "Oh Yeah, Baby," stripped back mix. Let's have a listen. Liking the drums. Yeah, I like that so far. Like damn drop box. So white the screen. Yeah. Baseline is nice. I like it. Nice little breakdown here. Bit of a deeper jacking vibe. All right. I think it's a great, it's a nice record. Well mixed. Very nice groove. The sub bass line is nice. The other thing I love about these two tracks too is that it's in key. It's not so far away from the key where it's just irritating your ears. It's a bit deeper, sort of deep jack is what I sort of classify that track as. Um, but overall, it's good. It's a nice, deeper feeling vibe. Again, from a purveyor perspective, I just think about these things like, well, would we put this out in purveyor? And it has to just grab me immediately. And again, it's not to say the track is bad. It's just when I look at my label and what sort of stuff we're looking to put forward, it's just a no for me for now. But again, like I said, I might come back to this and be like, yo, this is dope. And that's an important thing to remember is like, although it doesn't grab you firsthand as a label owner, I know how important it is to take tracks, test them out, play them out on the road, and see the responses and see how it makes me feel as a DJ playing it too. And I might have a change of mind. I could tell you this wholeheartedly. This is what happened to me with Hot Creations when I sent them the High, Live, and Dirty EP, along with there's this other track called Rawness. I think it's Rawness Beat 3, if I'm not mistaken. And Jamie came back initially and he said no to the whole demo. And then literally he must have had it on his flash drive or whatever hard drive while he's playing it out. And I got and he came back and said, "Yo, let's sign that." So all is not necessarily lost. So overall, I think the two tracks are dope. The second track, however, I think let's just go back to this and listen to this again. Yeah, so the bottom of the kick in this track is not as it doesn't feel as present as the first track. So,
but I still try to keep focus.
And that could be a perception of the mix and how it's hitting my ears right now. Like the bass line, there's so much more bottom.
Because
there's so much more bottom in that bass line versus what's happening in the interaction with the kick in the bass line here, that it gives a sense, oh, maybe the kick needs a little bit more bottom. So that would be a piece I would say. But again, well arranged, good sample choices. It's in key, nice deeper jacking based vibe. And you know, who knows? I'll test it on the road, see how it makes me feel, and I might come back and sign it. But it's a no for now. But still, good tracks to shop around. Great work, guys. Nice. Okay, let's move on to let's check the box here. Man, we got a lot of. Okay, so the next track is by Icaro Mana. He's been around the community for a minute, so I'm looking forward to listening to this one. Let's get into it. First reactions, all right. Beats, baby. Nice deep vibe, yo. Reminds me of that 90s deep house vibe. It's nice. Woo! Yeah. Some good snare work there. This is beautiful, man. Yeah. This is what deep house should sound like. None of the shit we're hearing today. This is what real deep house is. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is deep house. Come on. Nice break. This is proper, man. Feeling it. Yeah. Dope. Ooh, piano. Was that a little stab there? What? Go back. Oh, it was. That was nice. That was nice. Yeah, that's dope. That little stab. Let's see if he does. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, dope. Let's just advance here. Wow. Looks like he added another like pad or synth. This is brilliant. Okay, so listen, my take on this track, if we put out Deep House on Purveyor, I would put this record out. Straight up. I would put this record out because it's just here's the thing. Here are all the good things working with this track. I'll show it. I'm hoping maybe I can zoom in here on the track itself. Yeah, I can't. But all right. So the good thing about this track overall, we can't really see the full waveform, but in terms of a feeling, it's the arrangement is great. It starts out with this, it gets you, locked into a groove, then breakdown, then it comes with the piano on top of the chords, and then he introduces that little step, like coming again. Get ready for it. That's dope. And there's some other intelligent things with respects to how he used the stab, that makes it just an interesting record. Like I would want to play this record. This reminds me of what true deep house is. So other positive things I could say is, the arrangement, very DJ friendly again, just like first again. And this is super important because I could tell you arranging DJ friendly tracks wasn't very second nature for me. It's not something I did naturally when I first started out. So the fact that I'm hearing these tracks and very DJ friendly bass, uh, people might be heavy DJs here and now getting into production or whatever, but it's vitally important that the tracks are DJ friendly. You want DJs to play these tracks. But anyway, let me dive back into my feedback here. So here's the introduction of the piano in this part, and then we get over here, and then he adds pad or strings. So the track is progressively building and building through the intelligent introduction of certain instruments at the right time. It makes you want to play this record. My only do different from an arrangement perspective on this record is I felt that the beginning was a bit abrupt, like we just got right into the beat. I'll show you what I mean here. It's coming up. So these are the cue beats. There's a little bit of fade in action going. So right there, you hear the crash and it's right in the beat, right? Whereas here, go over here. You hear that little breakdown before it got into the drop is like a little, it's not a breakdown, but it's a little dropout. I would have preferred something like that to be done at the beginning of the track as well. Just so, like, when you're cueing beats and you're DJing, you can anticipate it as a DJ. You hear the reverse snare ramping up into the drop. But this is a great record, man. Like, bravo. Good job. Well mixed. I mean, maybe the highs on the beat rate, but that'd be stretching it a bit. It sounds great here in the studio. I love this record. This is what deep house should sound like. Again, if on Purveyor, if we put out deep house, I would put this record out. This is great. But what I will say is I can actually see this record on Chaos Theory. I can hear Carrie playing this record. I mean, they're common chords, It would be the only other sort of watch out I would have in terms of feedback. Like, we've all heard those chords before in house music, but the way it's done here and arranged and the layering of sounds as the track is progressing makes it a very well done track. So bravo, Carl. Good job. Nice one. So hope you love my feedback on that one. Let's carry on. Okay. Who's next? Who we got next? Uh, how's Icaro? Sunny. Okay. So let's check these out. Okay, so I gotta download these. So again, not to put anybody on blast, but this is why I prefer the tracks to be sent um, via Dropbox or SoundCloud, because I gotta download the tracks and then I gotta go find them, play it. It's not a big deal, but it's just keeps things more organized. So okay, free to people, free people, and in my head. So where's the other track? Did we download in my head? Ugh. I really hate Google's thing, man. It's not ideal. Let's try it this way. Oh man.
You be a musician that nobody ever heard.
Okay, I don't want to. Listen, man, you need to download this. If this doesn't download, we're gonna have to move on. All right. I'm not sure what's going on with the In My Head track, but what I will do, I've opened up Free People here on my screen. This is Sunny Basil, so let's give this a listen. Wow, this looks like it's in mono. So straight off the bat, just feedback for you on that one. Make sure it's in stereo. I'm just gonna make sure that this is, so the way I hear it is okay, but the way you guys will hear it is not on Sonarworks. So let's listen.
Why don't you know what I'm like? 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 Now all of a sudden you come to me and you say, communicate with me. Hell, I've been here all the time. And we've been. Where were you? Now what do I have to say to you? It has to be resolved. It has to be resolved because I want my children to have an answer. If not me, I personally prefer that I have an answer. I don't have, I like to say, I don't have my lifetime to waste on this. I don't have, I like to say, I don't have my lifetime to waste on this.
Okay, so I'll just stop there. So this track's Free People by Sunny Basil. All right, so the things I liked about this track, in terms of just pure creativity, I thought the vocal was cool. Um, it had a little, you know, it was interesting vocal. I need to go back and see all the stuff that she was saying, but it was an interesting vocal. The other thing is you can hear. I think this is like a 909 drum kit or the actual instrument being used. Sounds great from that perspective. But that's about where I would sort of say, okay, those are the things working for the track. There are a few things that need to be worked on. So I'll just get into the arrangement piece. So although the vocal was really cool, it just went on too long in the intro. And I think it's important from an arrangement perspective. Um, that intro, those cue beats are there for the DJ. You can add little vocal bits, but they're there for the DJ to understand where the record is in the mix and to anticipate, okay, what's coming. That's just my opinion on it. So you want to leave the intro a bit more sparse versus just having the vocal roll through for almost a full minute. The other thing is, from an arrangement perspective, I thought the use of the crash was just like a bit much. Like if we go here and just listen to where it
It
picks
has
up.
to be resolved. It has to be resolved because I don't have, you know, I like to say I don't have my lifetime to waste on this.
You know, like we heard, there's another crash, right? One more. And I could see the crashes here in the waves. It's just way too much to have it hit at the top of every bar in the arrangement. A crash is usually there to signify there's a drop or a contrast moment happening in the song. So just, you know, use it sparsely. Just keeping in mind too, like those types of sounds very much stick out. So it'll feel like, wow, it's super repetitive, which is not the feeling you want to convey with, you know, our tracks, because the music, it's loopy, right? So and the cowbell too is another thing I would suggest to use sparsely, because it's a type of sound that draws the attention of the ear. So that's the other piece.
I don't have my life.
And just lastly, I think the low to low mids need some cleanup in terms of the mix down itself. But the idea is great. So I wouldn't abandon this idea. Just there's a few tweaks that need to be done that I would suggest you look at. And the other thing, I said this at the top, is I could tell this is bounced down just purely as mono. It's not stereo. And this is something you definitely want to avoid. Bounce the track down in stereo. Mono is great for monitoring your mix downs, and maybe it's just done in error. But the thing with mono, it just goes right down the center. So as I'm listening to it, it doesn't sound as wide and dynamic as a stereo bounce down would offer. So just that feedback for you. I'll leave you with that. Just to take in, but great idea. Just a number of things just to tweak and polish and work on. And thank you again for submitting your track. Okay, who's next? Let me dig in here. I wish that In My Head track downloaded, but it wasn't downloading for whatever reason. Okay, so we're gonna make this let's see, how are we for time here? I'm gonna try and squeeze in a couple more, maybe. Let's see how long this takes. So the next one is by Catabolic of Catabolic Music. Let's open up SoundCloud. Perfect. Looks like we only got one track here. So let's dive in and give this a listen. These beats sound a little familiar. I'm not sure. Did you get it from the sample pack? Not sure. deep stuff today, man. Deep house is alive and kicking, but let's see where this goes. Yeah. Nice chops on the jazz sample, piano sample. Sounds like a live bass. Yeah. It's nice. Ooh. That change up is good there too. Ooh. Love that bass line change up. It's dope. Right here into a break. Oh man. That's dope. I love that. I wasn't expecting a vocal. That's dope. I like it. Let's see how this comes back into the drop. Okay. I hear another clap there. Okay. This track is dope. A lot of deep house stuff. I'm surprised. I thought I'd hear a bit more just straight house or jacking based stuff, but hey, it's all good. I appreciate y'all submitting your tunes. But this one, Deep in My Soul. So let's just talk about the things that have worked well. I love the just sort of the sparseness, you know, where it's sort of a minimal approach and then the kick comes in and knocks you up. Like this piece here. Let's go back. Like just the simplicity of the beats, just very sparse. It's like it's leading you to something, right? Which is why I like this arrangement. There we go. We're right in it. So I love that piece. I love the way the samples are chopped up. The piano chops in particular are very good. With the change up too, that was nice. This piece here, I think did it over here. Bass line's dope too. But this change up. The change up on the piano. There. Yeah. That is dope. Those change ups are vitally important. I talk about this all the time on the weekly production stream. Because our music is so repetitive, it's important to have some change happening with the tune just to keep the tune interesting. So I love what you did there, Catabolic. It was dope. Like that change up is dope. So that worked for me along with the bass line too. The other thing is how you introduce the vocal. Wow. Great tune. Let's go back to that. Boom. Crazy. And you know what? I just noticed there's a crash on top of that that underscores my previous point. You use the crashes to introduce an event that's or change that's happening in the song. So it's coming right here. And it's in stereo. I can hear the dynamics of that crash from the left and right channels. This is a dope track. Deeper for me, but would I play it? I would absolutely play this track. Not necessarily for Purveyor Underground in terms of what we put out. We like that hard hitting house and jacking. You know, on occasion we'll do the tech house stuff, but that's what we do. But this is much more deeper than what we normally put out. But it's a dope track. Period. I wouldn't be surprised if Phil Weeks, like Rob Soul, putting out a track like that. They've been known to do that. I'm just trying to think of what other labels would rock that track. Late Night Jackin' might rock with that. So either way, well done. It's mixed pretty good in my opinion. I don't think it's mastered. Yeah. My only other feedback on this track would be that it has a 2/4 snare. And if you've ever had a coaching session with me or watched my weekly production streams, you'll know what that is. A 2/4 snare is when you got a snare hitting the second and fourth beat of every bar. So it's just bop, bop. And those things are so important, whether it's deep house or jackin' house for that matter, or just straight house. It's got to be much more than just a clap. You know what I'm saying? Having a nice filled out snare, EQ'd properly, and having it sit well in the base of the track makes a huge difference. It gives it a certain vibe. And although it's already there in this track somewhat, it's probably more like a muted snare or rim shot. Like Nick Holder is infamous for doing like a rim shot or some sort of snare that's not very, punchy necessarily, but something that's there on the 2 and 4 with presence is necessary. And DJs also appreciate that quite a bit to sort of know where they are in the mix. So anyway, I enjoyed that one. I thought I was pretty dope. And I love the introduction of, the vocals. That was brilliant work. Okay. I think we can add another track. So this is from Justin Joe. All right. So Justin has he joined as one of our original Patreon members, which is cool. He's also been releasing music on some pretty cool labels, Rob Soul. An overall great guy. He's making some dope sample packs too. So I appreciate that. Let's see. I think I downloaded this already. Yeah, I did. But again, people, if you can, please try and send this via Dropbox or SoundCloud. All right, so I've got it open up here. This is Justin Joe collab track with Ray Gelato, I think it is. So I could see it's a lower volume. Straight off the bat, I know it's in stereo. The dynamics look pretty good on this. Not bad. I think there's some gentle compression on the main bus, and I could tell that just because it looks like a bit of a block, but it's not a loudness block. So in fairness, I'm going to just normalize this up just so I can hear it as loud as possible. So, all right, I can tell right off the bat, this is well mixed. Clean kick. All right, looks like a change is coming right in between here. And that's cool. I can anticipate that. Nice. Keep those intro beats interesting, man. Oh, nice little ramp up. let's advance a bit more here. Okay. Some nice little jacking vibe. Yeah. Break. That little thing. I see what you guys are doing here, man. So if you noticed, that's what I call an introduction, or like bringing instruments in and out of a breakdown. That shit I do all the time, right here. And then take it out, and here's a drop. Okay, I see you, Justin. I see what you did there. Oh, man. This is nice. So now another instrument's being introduced here. So clean, deeper jack, ride, instrument introduced there, breakdown. Open hat thing here again. And that's nice. That's a good use of sort of like a riser effect leading into the next drop. Like I'll play it back again. And then the outro beats here. Here it is. Okay, man. I dig this track. I think it's cool. It's again, I classify this as like a deep jack, but I think overall it's mixed very well. The arrangement is clever. I love some of the things that happen throughout the track to keep it interesting. Like, you know, you got the riser introduction into the drop here. That's cool. And crash right at the top for the drop. And I like this introduction in the open hat. And then taking it out. I'm pretty sure that's my technique, but you know, we'll let that go. Yeah, so I think it's cool. And the bass line, everything just works in this track. But as I said, it's a bit deeper for Purveyor at this point. And Justin's released with us before, so but for this, we wouldn't put this out right now. But it's certainly a track I would play for sure. It's dope. This is very well mixed. So appreciate you, Justin, for submitting that. Dope stuff. Share the love. That collab track is a nice one. So appreciate that one. We got time for one more. Let's do one more. It literally came in while we were getting into things. So let's see if I can find it. Tracks. Okay, so this is from Uriya. Let's try the SoundCloud link. Hopefully this works. Beautiful, it does. Show my screen here. That looks like there's some feedback already. Man, you got people asking to buy the track. So let's listen to this. Okay, so on this one, I think the idea is cool. But the like a couple of components are like it's out of key. As I listen, I think it's an organ stab. Yeah, and the stab is like they're out of key for sure. They're not necessarily hitting off right. And I mean, you could get away with a little bit of that. Like, don't get me wrong, that might be cool to somebody else's ears, but it's out of key for me. The other thing is in the mix, I was highlighting here. There's some sort of bass sound that comes in. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's phasing or whatever, but it's like there's something going on the low end where it sounds like it's like fluttering, as my mastering engineer would say. And it's usually indicative of a sample having, other low frequency information in there colliding with another one with similar information in it. And it's just, it can't find a footing because it's either not side chained out properly or EQ'd properly via buses. So yeah, there's something. Yeah, I think it's a filter bass that's creating that because it just goes away here at the ultra beats. Just listen carefully. Yeah, see, it's out. I mean, so I think it's an idea that potentially has legs, but there's some EQ things, particular. I think it's the filtered bass that needs some work. Also, just the beat break itself. It sounds like a beat break sample that's being used, and I think there's opportunity to expand on that. It's just a straight kick and open hat loop and clap. If you can add some snare programming in there to keep it interesting, I think that'll work out very well. So thank you, Uriya, for submitting this. Check him out on SoundCloud. And I mean, the track has interest, right? You got people looking to, buy it up. But I think there's some pieces to work through there just to make it sound even better. Okay, so I think we're going to close out there. We got a healthy amount of submissions. Let me know how this worked for you. If you got any value out of this, or if there's anything else you want me to sort of target. It's our first go at this. I'm looking forward to doing more of these types of sessions and giving feedback. I just love seeing people's progress and growth through things. And it's also a way for me to, dig in and find new music selfishly for my own labels, Purveyor Underground and Purveyor Underground Limited on the vinyl side. So anyways, let me know your thoughts on this one, but I enjoyed this one. It's our first demo and track feedback sessions on Patreon. So stay in touch with us. Much love and respect. Peace.